Hey all, it is Altbier here, and I am here to kick off another quick update about the badge stuff that we're working on. Um, the badge is progressing slowly, and so um, basically we went from the last update, which was pencil on paper, to where we actually have some art to show off. So let me just. Okay, why can I not see that? All right, there we go. This is the badge that I was talking about before, the Psycho badge. It's going to be based on the Bates Motel. The look and feel will look like from the Psycho movie, the Bates Motel. We're going to have the neon sign here. I'm going to try to do like an Edison wire here to light that up, kind of like neon. And we'll do some cool effects inside the windows to have them light up from behind, so that'll look cool, kind of Scooby-Doo-ish. And then this big open window for room 33, that is going to be an LCD screen where we can play out the scene of like the shower scene with the knife. We thought that would be cool. Up in here, we'll put in some like cool radio wave effects or something. That's why we got all this antenna garbage on the top. But yeah, that's about as far as we've gotten with this badge. So it's one of those things. Got a late start, and life is getting in the way of badge life, and so it is what it is. We're gonna try to get one out. We're doing much smaller quantities this year, and we're not selling them or anything, so we don't have to try to get them done way in advance. So we have that all working to our advantage. We will be giving the badges away. So just a little more on the concept. You might notice it's kind of a weird shape. It's rectangular. And I know I've done other rectangular badges in the past, and I just kind of like that shape, I guess. But with this one, I was actually going for a theme because I figure it's like a motel, right? It's based on the Bates Motel. I want it to be the DEF CON Motel. Well, old school motels used to have their own postcards. And so if I look at this one from like the 60s or 70s, you can see what I'm talking about. So you have a picture of the hotel or the motel on the front, and then on the back, a whole bunch of information, a place to put your stamp, yada yada. This is kind of what I'm going to do with the Psycho badge. We're going to have the front will be just like a postcard for the DEF CON Motel. The back, we can make it look similar to this, but instead of like travel icons, we'll put some cool hacker icons down here, some interesting text on the back to make the back just as cool as the front, make it look like a real postcard. So that's where the theme for this shape is coming from. Still not sure about the sizing. This window looks a little big. I haven't measured out like the LCD screen I'm going to use, so I was overcompensating here. I might make that a little smaller depending upon the LCD screen, but I want it to be traditional postcard size, which means 4 inches tall and 6 inches wide. So this is probably a little big for that, but I haven't actually taken out and done measurements yet. I've been just trying to finalize a lot of the art on it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the Psycho badge. Real quick update on that, and I'll try to keep you updated as we progress on that. And as of right now, we're looking at a quantity of these of about 30. That's not including the 5 or so prototypes we do beforehand that me and the badge team will get. So it'll be 30 to give away. Now, last time I streamed, which is like 2 weeks ago, I talked about another project that we were working on, and that was my SAO Pin Adapter. And so that one has progressed nicely. Still not quite done with it. We need to add some front silk art pieces, things like that. But we have most of the circuit laid out, and it's actually pretty simple. So I'll just explain it, try to make this a little bigger so I can explain. So yeah, with this one, it's going to be a very small adapter board. It's only going to be 25 millimeters wide, about 40 millimeters tall, just barely big enough to fit the components on it. We're going to have an SAO connector on the bottom here. This is going to be the badge side connector. So this is the one that's solid plastic, not the one that's shrouded, because this is for you to take an SAO and plug it into this just like it was being plugged in on a badge. And then on the back side, we'll have the battery connector for a CR2032 battery. And then up here, this is a brooch clip, like a literal pin. It has 2 drill holes for us to use M2 screws to screw it in there. That way we're not dealing with glue or anything like that. So it'll have a physical pin, so you can pin it on as a wearable. And that's the whole purpose of this. It's a wearable SAO. And so it's an adapter, meaning you can take any SAO you want and wear it as a pin using this, assuming the SAO can be driven by a single CR2032 battery. I think almost all of them can. It's just a matter of for how long. But yeah, not even putting a switch in on this. I want to keep it very simple. And let me show you what it looks like in 3D. Yeah, so like I said, very small. You can see by the size of the SAO connector here how small this is, because I want this to be hidden by the SAO, right? I didn't want this to be sticking out behind the SAO. There's going to be some SAOs that are so small that might happen. So we'll put some decorative art around here to try to highlight the SAO instead of highlighting the PCB. But yeah, and then on the back side, we have just the battery, and then I don't have a 3D model for the brooch clip, but it's just a standard pin that you can buy on AliExpress or on eBay, and it's a standard size. They call them either 2 centimeter or 20 millimeter brooch pin clasps, and they usually have 2 holes, and on almost all of them, because I think they're all using the same OEM specs for this, the holes are in exactly the same spot. So I bought pins like this when I did the homecoming badge for DEF CON 30. We had that boutonniere use these, and I ended up buying pin clasps from 3 different manufacturers, and they were all exactly the same. I think the only difference was one was silver and the other 2 were brass colored. So, but color doesn't really matter here. It's not going to show. It's on the back. So the point is that this footprint should work with that type of pin. Now I'm going to be putting together over 100 of these as giveaways at DEF CON. Once again, won't be selling anything this year, just straight giveaway. But I really like this idea, this concept, and I'm hoping to have, once I get the thing finalized, the art finalized, to get this published on the GitHub website that it's on, to make it public as early as next week. That way I can encourage other people, and I'm going to save the Gerber file zip file that I use to buy these as well, so other people can just print these up on their own. And they're not expensive. I made them, the reason why it's so kind of squarish is so that they can easily be panelized. So you can use V-score cuts and do like a 3x2, and it's still going to be like only 75 millimeters by 80 millimeters, and fairly cheap. I think I looked at JLC PCB, and to do 5, just a prototype of 5 panels, which would be 30 of these things, it was $6. So it was, now the tariff might double that to 12. Who knows? But my point is, it's cheap. The components, you can get them all over the place. You can buy these components, this, and even the brooch clip, like I said, on eBay. Or I've seen them on, maybe not this one, but I've seen this and the brooch clips on Amazon. And for this guy, you don't really have to have the keyed. You can go with just a 2x3 female, which you can get literally everywhere. This keyed one is a little harder to get. But the point is, if we put this design into the public's hands well enough before DEF CON, I'm hoping a whole bunch of people make lots of these and give them out to their friends, or have little assembly parties to build a bunch together. I know I'm going to try to work in the Badge Life area if they have that again this year, and we'll solder a bunch of these together there for people. That way, it's very simple to learn how to solder, and it's a cool little add-on, especially if you want to show off an SAO, but don't necessarily want to wear a whole badge to show it off, or wear a big totem thing to show it off. So this is kind of the same concept of the SAO totems that are out there, but it's a single SAO, and it's got a pin clip, so it's wearable. So that's where we're at with that. So I'm hoping to order PCBs by early next week, and by late next week have this design out there, and I'll start sharing it on social media so we can get other people to print these up and make them, because like I said, this is all about just getting them into people's hands. This alone, I wouldn't charge anyone for this, even if I wanted to, because it's too simple. There's no like real design work here. It's just taking someone else's hard work and design and making an SAO and just making it wearable. That's it. That was all there was to it. So I want to try to get these out there, and then maybe if we make this easy enough to make, we can get some of the SAO designers out there to start giving these out, or including them with the SAOs that they sell. So, because I think this is a cool idea. So hopefully I'm not alone in thinking that, and there are others that think it too. But either way, we're moving forward with this one. So this is the furthest along on any of my projects that we have. So yeah, this one's coming soon. And this one, I still got to finalize his artwork. This artwork, I've struggled. This has been, it's like writer's block, only it's artist block. I keep adding stuff and deleting stuff and trying to, like, I've messed with this roof God knows how many times and keep undoing it and redoing it. Do I want it to look like this one? Do I want it to look more messy? It's just, I'm just not happy with it right now. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but I just see so much more potential here that I haven't brought out yet, and it makes me sad, but I haven't shared in a while, so I figured I would share what I have, even though I'm not too happy with it right now. Oh, we got someone chatting. Great time watching the stream, and it's impressive. Love to tune in more often. Yeah, I wish I had time to stream as much as I was last year. Last year I was like a regular once a week, every Thursday we did a stream. This week I just got too much going on with life to make that happen. So I'm trying to get the streams out there as often as I can, and I'm sorry that it's unpredictable when I'm going to stream. I'll try to get better at that, but no promises. But yeah, as we get forward on these badges, we'll have more to share. Right now, as you can see, there's not a whole lot to share yet. We have the one SAO adapter, SAO Pin Adapter, and then this one is all just still in the artwork phase. So I have an idea of how I want to do the circuit, but nothing has been put into KiCad yet for this. So that'll be interesting. I am going to try to use a lot of the same components I did last year That way I'm not reordering stuff from China if I have a bunch of it in my garage. So that should simplify the design if I'm using the same ESP32s and the same LEDs, stuff like that. So we'll see. The Edison wire is going to be a challenge. Not so much working with it electrically, but putting it onto the PCB. I have some ideas there, but honestly, it's going to take some trial and error, I think, to make that work out. But we'll see. Worst case, we can always light it with LEDs instead, but I think that'd be disappointing. So I really want to have a wire lit for the neon sign. So cool. Well, guys, I know this was a short one again, but I think that's all I have for tonight. So thank you for those of you that tuned in. And as always, now that I'm done with the live stream at a random time when nobody knew what I was on, I will post this to YouTube for you to view at your leisure afterwards. So, and hopefully I'll be streaming next week and have more to share then. So I hope to make more progress on the Psycho Badge. So, and feel free to give me feedback either here or on my Twitter page. DMs are open, or you can just ping me in public and say you do shit work, you know. Whatever it is. I'm out there, so find me, feel free to chat, and we'll talk to you all next time. Thanks.